So while I was over in the Philippines for Miss Asia Pacific International, I got to go along to Jollibee and do a bit of a lunch with some of the SCOT kids, and I have to say it was very, very amazing. I was sitting there waiting for the kids to arrive, and when they walked on in, I saw a massive poster with my face on it, and it said welcome, and that to me was really, really heart-touching. The whole lunch that I shared with the kids was truly, truly a massive, massive eye-opener. I sat down and they did a performance for me. So a couple of kids did a couple of dance performances, which was really cool. I got up and did a bit of a dance with them as well. And then after that, it was really, really nice to talk to the kids and find out more about themselves.
Thank you once again for joining us here at SCOT TV. I'm Nanette Carrillo, CEO of SCOT Foundation. And for those who are not aware about it, SCOT Foundation was established here in New Zealand. And together with your sponsorship and generosity, we have helped the children in New Zealand and in Philippines through our scholarship program and feeding program. Children living in poverty are rife in the Philippines, and in recent years, it is increasingly becoming visible here in New Zealand. Poverty robs us in many ways. It robs us of our hopes, dreams, and worst, our health. For our guest this morning, I'm excited to introduce to you the man who is passionate about giving hope, believes in equal opportunity for all, and who is dedicated in providing quality housing for the regular Kiwi families, as well as providing better transportation for Auckland. Let me introduce to you Honorable Phil Twyford, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Transport Minister, and MP for Te Welcome, Phil, and thanks for your time to be in our SCOT TV show.
Mabuhay, Nanette. Great to be with you on SCOT TV.
Yes, and how's everything?
Well, our government's been in office now for a little over a year.
Yes, and congratulations. This is really such a beautiful office here.
Thank you. Yes, and we're very busy. We're out there implementing the policies that we were elected on and trying to bring kindness back to government.
Oh, that's great. Phil, it was mentioned that poverty in recent years is becoming visible here in New Zealand. From time to time, we hear on the news, studies show that more and more families, children living in poverty. Some, if not all, the reason for this is unemployment. You believe in equal opportunities for all. If given free rein on providing equal opportunities for people from all walks of life, what would you do?
Well, Nanette, there's a lot of things that create inequality and hold people back in life, and our government's committed to creating a prosperous and inclusive economy where everybody gets a fair shot. But if there's one thing that I could do right now, it's fix the housing crisis. And as Housing and Urban Development Minister, that's my goal, because housing costs are so out of control now for renters, for aspiring homeowners, and even for people who really fall between the cracks at the bottom end of the rental market and find themselves literally homeless. Housing is the big problem. That's what's eating up everybody's household income.
Yeah.
And for so many families, it means that there's not enough left over at the end of the week, even for the basics. So if we can build more housing, more affordable housing, if we can bring down rents and house the homeless, I think that's, at this point in time, the single most important thing I'd like to be able to achieve.
Oh, that's really great. Awesome. On the topic of homelessness, Orange Sky vans were introduced in Auckland last month. Can you please tell us more about how this came about and what Orange Sky vans hope to achieve?
Yeah, it's I think an interesting and innovative approach to trying to make life better for some of the most vulnerable people in our community, people who have so few options that they've ended up literally living on the streets, rough sleeping. It's a tough situation to find yourself in, and our Orange Sky vans are a new project. It's come from Australia. And we have this van in Auckland which is fully kitted out with washing machines and dryers and a shower, believe it or not. It's beautifully kitted out. And thanks to support from our government, the Orange Sky van is driving around Auckland and it provides a kind of mobile laundry and shower service for people who are rough sleeping. And it's providing something very basic, that is clean clothes and a hot shower for people who are rough sleeping. And critically important to this also, it's a chance for the volunteers to have a conversation with people while they're waiting for the clothes to dry. Yeah. And that's a chance to build trust and to try to find out how we can provide more services and support for these people that will ultimately allow them to be permanently housed.
Oh, that's amazing, Phil. A few months back, you held workshops about mental health and addiction and how it affects our society. Mental condition does not discriminate and affects everyone regardless of age, gender, and status in life. But how much do you think alcohol and drug addiction play a part in mental health?
I think they play a very big part, and that's why our government, one of the first things that we did was we set up an inquiry into the future of mental health services and addictions. So, and right here in West Auckland, I convened a couple of workshops which gave the members of the community, concerned members of the public, but also people who have used our mental health services and their families, the opportunity to come along and have a say about what they want in future. I think people realise that mental health services in this country are not what they should be. We need to put more resources in, we have to modernise those services, and that's why the government set up the inquiry. But we didn't wait for the inquiry report. We put $200 million extra into mental health services in the last budget. We've also increased the mental health services available in schools because we know how important it is for our young people, if they suffer from depression or anxiety, to be able to get help. Yeah. We have a problem in this country with mental health and suicide, and it's time we did something about it.
Oh, that's really awesome. Thanks for that, Phil. We know we have rehabilitation and support groups to help people and their families suffering from addiction and mental health problems. Do you think we need to improve on these measures? Is there any more we could do?
I do. I think we need to do more. You know, I live in Te Aratu here in West Auckland, and right across the road from my home is a rehabilitation centre for people with addictions. And so I visited the centre a number of times, got to know the staff there, and they invite me to attend their graduation ceremonies. And it's inspiring to see the personal redemption when people successfully overcome their demons, their internal demons that lead them to drug and alcohol addiction. They're able to turn their lives around when they get help to do that. And it's very inspiring to see what can be done. But I think as a society, we've got to put more resources into more and better services to help people.
Yeah, that's very inspiring. Poverty, homelessness, mental health, and addiction are all interconnected, and we see that Labour government is dedicated on stomping this to the ground. On lighter matters, Te Aratu is a beehive of activity with the opening of brand new building and facilities at Te Aratu Medical Center. Te Aratu is booming, flourishing community. Is there anything else exciting coming up for Te Aratu that you can announce?
The big project that I've been campaigning on for as long as I've been a local MP in this area is to improve transport. You know, the community here in West Auckland is highly dependent on State Highway 16, the Northwestern Motorway, which is so often jammed up at peak hour. And it means that people lose, over a year, hundreds and hundreds of hours are wasted sitting in traffic. So my goal is for us to build a modern rapid transit system alongside the Northwestern Motorway, like light rail, with stations at the different interchanges, serving our communities, and that will free up the roads, it will ease the congestion, and provide people in this community in West Auckland a genuine alternative to sitting in traffic. And so that's my goal, to build that rapid transit system, because I know it will really improve the quality of life for people in our community.
Fantastic. In an ideal world, granting everything that you wish, what is your highest aspirations as Housing and Transport Minister and MP for Te Atatu?
I want the children who grow up in this community in West Auckland and throughout New Zealand to have the best possible start in life. So I want their parents to have access to secure, well-paid employment. I want the kids to be able to go to local schools that are top quality. When someone in the family gets sick, to be able to go to our wonderful hospital here in West Auckland and get the medical treatment that they need. These are the basics of life: health, education, decent work, and they're the things that Labour has always stood for.
Oh, that's amazing, Phil. And thank you so much for all the information and for all the updates that you have shared with us. And to end up this interview, we're going to play an interview game, and we call it 2-Minute Fast Talk, wherein you are going to answer all the questions using one word.
Okay, let's do it.
Timer, please. Favorite color?
Red for Labour.
Fishing or hiking?
Hiking.
Favorite travel destination?
Hong Kong.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Favorite food?
Too many to choose. Malaysian.
Oh. Favorite sports?
Rugby.
Favorite Hollywood actor?
Robert De Niro.
Favorite singer?
Tom Waits.
Reading or listening to music?
Listening to music.
True or false? You can speak other language.
Not much.
You don't like sweet food.
I love sweet food.
You have traveled around Asian countries.
Many.
You have pets at home.
Goldfish and bees.
You like watching talent shows on TV.
I prefer movies.
Complete the sentence. Happiness is?
Lying on a hammock in summer, reading a novel and having an afternoon nap.
Christmas is?
Family and food.
Best word that describes you?
Driven.
Thank you so much for watching with us, and million thanks to you, Honorable Phil Twyford, Minister of Housing and Transport and MP for Te Atatu. It was inspiring and very much fun having you here on SCOT TV. We hope to see more of you in our future show, and rest assured we will be supporting all your existing and future programs. If you want to know, to keep abreast of what's happening regarding housing and transport, please visit Honorable Phil Twyford's page at www.bihud.gov.nz and Phil's Facebook page. For those of you who are wanting to know more information about SCOT Foundation, please visit our website, www.scot.org.nz. Once again, this is Nanette Carrillo saying happy holidays and enjoy the rest of the year. Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you, Nadia.
And in behalf of SCOT Foundation, we have a simple token for you.
Aww.
Yeah, advance Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.